The continuation of our Kingdom Hearts journey. A good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts 3 by Barry Kramer. The first one was honestly amazing. I absolutely loved it. At this point, I'm still looking forward to eventually going through Kingdom Hearts myself. I wanted to kind of get the feel on Kingdom Hearts 3 because I said I do know what happens, and I'm very curious what he thinks.
This video is brought to you in part by me, because I made this. Welcome to a good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts 3. You might be here because you just can't be bothered to play Kingdom Hearts 3, or maybe it's the year 2082 and you're looking for a refresher before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Hi kids, it's me, your grand Pep in the past. If you're confused on—
Dude, this is gonna be me though. I'm gonna be like 80. I'm gonna be like George Carlin status, and like maybe Todd will release another trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. Right? I feel like we're gonna get to it eventually when Iron Stars start forming.
Lost. Well, I mean, we all are, but you should probably watch my other video first, covering everything up to this point.
Yeah.
Alright, then let's do this. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow, I think we're still missing 2.8, right?
Last we saw Sora, he was getting told by Yen Sid to get good. His main task is to relearn the power of waking, which will allow him to help those jumbled up hearts inside of him in Anjeli's jam once and for all. I guess that's technically what he did with Kairi's heart back in Kingdom Hearts 1, but with the power of waking, he shouldn't have to poke his soft underbelly and turn into a bug. Yen Sid gives everybody who matters new clothing and sends them off.
Oh, also be on the lookout for Keyblade wielders. We need like 2 more to get to 7,
he says. Sora, Donald, and—
I do love that. So a couple points here. One, I do love that when this game launched, I distinctly remember, I think people were upset with the outfits because now they're like, I know exactly what fabric that is, and those are going to be really expensive. There's a snake in his boot. Yeah, those cosplays are going to be really expensive to make, right? I mean, to be fair, Final Fantasy-esque fashion is great, belts and all. I've been looking at trying to find something that's very similar to Xenos' Endwalker jacket. I'm caught between a Gambison, which I do own a Gambison, nothing like that though, and like a good fencing coat. I don't know which it is though. I also want his arm guards. I've been trying to find those. I'd even take like Saber from Fate Stay Night. I'd even take her arm guards. Those are fantastic. So when it comes down to denying Xehanort, though, wouldn't it be best to deny having 7 lights show up? Because if his end goal is to have 13 and 7 meet to create the Keyblade, but then again, I guess it's like, can 6 or 5 stand against the full might of 13 Xehanorts, right? So I guess there is that, right? I feel like there is a little bit of playing into Xehanort's plan to be able to foil Xehanort's plan going on here. Some plot isms that are convenient for the sake of convenience, but I would very much like a second opinion on that.
Goofy fly through a bunch of completely arbitrary Disney worlds that once again do not matter in the slightest, and Sora learns absolutely nothing about the power of waking. Jack Sparrow is actually a bunch of crabs in a trench coat, and Rex from Toy Story is obsessed with this hot new video game you wish you were playing instead called Darum Rex. Wait, is he obsessed with it because he thinks it's about him? Oh, and you can make Olaf.
Amazing.
Also, Maleficent and Pete are back, and they're looking for a box. They don't find it. Pat-a-pat, aw. Along the way—
Yeah. You're just like, is this just a MacGuffin? Is this leading into something?
we're reintroduced to the real Organization 13 and learn who the rest of the members are. Disappointingly, they're all characters we already know. Boo! In addition to the Norts we saw in Dream Drop Distance, there's Larxene, Marluxia, Luxord, Vexen, and Demyx. But now they all have yellow eyes, yo-oh! Also joining the gang is Vanitas from Birth by Sleep, and Dark Riku, a time-traveling replica Riku from Chain of Memories. This is a different Riku than the replica Riku we met in Castle Oblivion.
I forgot about Dark Riku.
And we know this because that replica Riku is hanging out inside of the original Riku like a teenager loitering outside of 7-Eleven. There's also—
Oh yeah, isn't that a plot point where, I think I remember this in his finale when I watched it.
a hand-wavy explanation as to why Ansem and Xemnas blowing up revived old man Xehanort instead of Terranort, but don't worry about it because Terranort is back too, and there's even another hooded figure we'll get to later. This is way more than 13? There's too many hooded figures.
Don't worry about this. This is just a cosplay convention.
In this game? Some of the other former members of Organization 13 decided to be good and stay as somebodies. They hang out back at Ansem the Wise's place and dig through his stuff and find his naughty magazines. They text Sora old memes sometimes.
Yeah.
The somebodies figure out what we learned like 3 games ago, that Sora has all these hearts jellying up his jam. Sora's
So you have to also remember that Kingdom Hearts 3 did launch as, or I don't know if it launched, but it did come to Xbox. And imagine like being on Xbox and having no idea like who any of these characters were, right? Obviously, then you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll go back to a PS2, maybe I'll go watch videos online, right? Because YouTube by this point had been very solidified, right? You could find like VODs and like, reviews and stuff, right? Story breakdowns. Go on something like GameFAQs or just a messaging board, be able to find information you need. But like, I wonder if the planned release on Xbox with no prior Kingdom Hearts games at that time being on Xbox, I wonder if that had a impact on the story and how some of that progression had to go.
like, I don't know if any of them even technically count as people, but we gotta help them out. He sets out to free Roxas because, ew, girls are icky. But he runs into a problem. For one, Roxas doesn't have a body anymore. And for two, Sora doesn't know how to release Roxas's heart. Wait, hold up. Since when do nobodies have hearts? I thought the whole point was that they're a shell without a heart. You know what? I have no more fight left in me. It's fine. Wrong is hooded. This plot is convoluted. Roxas's friends
It's the resignation.
show up and are like, hey, we don't remember Roxas because we were only friends with him inside a computer. And Sora's like, oh yeah, there should be a copy of his heart in the computer. But they don't know Ansem's password. Beep, boop, sad toot. Meanwhile, Riku and Mickey are so bad at rescuing Aqua that she turns into anti-Aqua. Which is actually fine because, I mean, she's rocking it. Mickey goes, what happened? And she's like, I was trapped here for 10 years and turned evil and got this sweet outfit. What took you so long? And Riku's like, I couldn't find my big car, my bad, lol. Sora pops out of a portal and helps his boyfriend Riku beat up Darkwa with the power of the Gay Blade TM. They unlock Aqua's face so hard she turns good again.
Why?
They zip over to Castle Oblivion and Aqua turns it back into the land of departure and they find Sleepy Ventus right where she left him having a big ol' nap. Sora
Land of Departure becoming Castle Oblivion. I mean, it makes sense. I thought it was cool to bring in a legacy location, right? Not that it was just like written out. I think it was really interesting that it transformed into Castle Oblivion. I thought it was really cool. Has the Darkling fingers. Yeah, I was noticing that. So I guess that might be something Darkling related potentially, but it's not explicitly stated. So I feel that's a strange one to tackle.
Sora tries to use the power of waking, but Vanitas pops up and attacks Aqua. He's like, heh heh, and she's like, oh no. Suddenly, Sora learns the actual power of waking because, they had an opportunity to make the Disney worlds relevant, but no, you know what, now is fine, this'll do. Ventus's heart poots out of Sora and into Ventus, and Ventus wakes up. He jumps in front of Vanitas and goes, remember me? And Vanitas goes,
Oh, that's cute, because that's what I said in Birth by Sleep.
and Ventus pops him on the noggin.
Ow.
Did you toot? Elsewhere, Vexen grabs Demyx and is like,
Wait, I forgot Xehanort isn't even a real goth. Let's bounce.
what do you mean? You willingly came back and let yourself get Norded.
I'm a double agent. I'm working for Ansem the Wise. Let's go.
And on their way out, they steal an empty replica body for Roxas. For later. Oh, and
Yeah.
Ansem the Wise is totally fine and wandering about in the background, but he barely does anything, so don't worry about him. Back
Yeah, I think he really was kind of just relegated to background character in 3 from what little I remember.
at Yen Sid's place, the 7 Guardians of Light are finally assembled. Sora, Riku, Mickey, Aqua, and Ventus are joined by Kairi and Lee, who spent 10 hyperbolic time chamber minutes in Merlin's moon bounce, so they're totally trained and up to the task. Yen Sid goes,
Son of a Disney, is this really the best we have?
Uh-huh.
Okay, y'all ready to fight Xehanort?
Wait, Mr. Yan Sid.
says Goofy.
If the 7 and the 13 fight each other, then that'll summon the Keyblade, right?
Right. It pointed this out at the beginning. Wouldn't this be counterintuitive to any sort of defense against Xehanort? Like what are the stakes here? If he needs the Keyblade to summon Kingdom Hearts and go to Skull Island because plot reasons, right? Like what do you lose? I guess they continue to terrorize other worlds and stuff, right? Like they're a threat you have to deal with. But like going through this, I need to see what stakes are actually set up to make this relevant.
Yes, what's your point?
So if we don't fight them, then Xehanort can never win.
Wow, Goofy, you're as smart as you are handsome. But if we refuse to fight, Xehanort will just use the 7 princesses of Heart instead.
Turnips, cries
I guess
Sora.
that's fair.
I won't stand by and let Naughty Nort hurt Jasmine and Belle and Snow White and...
No, actually, we're done with those princesses.
Yeah.
It's all about Frozen and Tangled now.
No, I didn't know they actually swapped that. Oh, please tell me that that was actually done tastefully. Like the princesses of Heart being kidnapped in one. After they were freed, like, I don't know, Shards of Light went somewhere else, finding new hosts, and not just a blatant, like, we must push new product because new product, so get ready to consume new product. Please tell me that's not how they did it.
What happened to...
It's all about Tangled and Frozen. It may be, Moana, eventually. Now go, appease our shareholder.
No, can you imagine? We're gonna get Wish, okay? Disney's Centennial property. We're gonna get Wish in 4. That's gonna be wild, right? Especially with how much negative publicity Wish has in terms of messaging, morals, themes. Oh, that's gonna be a wild one to consider.
And fight that Xehanort.
So the 7 Guardians of Light and Donald and Goofy take the battle bus to the Keyblade Graveyard.
battle bus.
They battle against the billion Heartless, and Sora defeats them with a choo-choo train. But then
Yeah.
Terra Nort shows up and kills everybody. Oopsie
Yeah, he
poopsie.
does.
Sora wakes up dead in the final world and puts his soul back together by running through an Escher painting and high-fiving himself a lot.
Wasn't this where Cherothy showed up too? Because Cherothy was character in the mobile games, right? Or characters. There were multiple Cherothys, right? But like this is the one we see in the mainline game.
He brings everyone back to life and they fight another wave of a billion Heartless. But this time they summon the power of Union Cross and surf on a wave of Keyblades, and the
Right.
ghost of this guy without pointy anime hair winks at Sora. See?
I have no clue who this is. Like it was really cool just to see the credits, like all the names and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I've actually met people who have said that they're actually in the credits, which is honestly kind of cool. Like it's a cool way to do that. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you missed out if you don't know the context on that.
I called it. Yen Sid, tired of everyone's incompetence, blasts down from orbit and makes a path through the Heartless.
He just parts the tide.
Moses, I'm doing a Moses.
He yells. Finally, after countless games and years upon years of waiting, we have our 7 and our 13 face off against each other. And it's all tense and quiet. And a tumbleweed rolls past. But Xehanort goes,
Lol, nope. Poof, here's
Well,
a
no.
maze.
Yep.
Sora works his way through Xehanort's last-minute corn maze of cheap suspense and takes out some organization members. He helps turn Terra Nort back into Terra, and Replica Riku kills Dark Riku while Riku watches. And
Yeah.
Sora goes, check please. The final hooded member is revealed to be Xion, and she's evil again. But off-screen, Ansem the Wise was able to log into his computer after finding his password underneath the keyboard and put Roxas's Digi-Heart into the replica body, and so Roxas enters the fight.
Dude literally shoots in like a shooting star. Wow, I know a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans were really hyped at that moment.
Xion goes, wait, nope, I got my heart back from Sora. Thanks, Sora, I'm good again. And he's like, when did that happen? Whoa! All the while, each fight is bringing Xehanort one shard closer to the Keyblade. Kairi, for the first time ever, is about to do a thing, but before she can, she gets kidnapped. Oh, how
Yeah.
convenient. Maybe next time, Kairi.
Maybe next time.
time.
Not really, but maybe next time.
Sora's like, heck, I'm not gonna fight and let you summon the Keyblade. I throw down my sword. But Xehanort goes,
Oh yeah, what if I do this?
"Psh, okay, sure. Threaten someone I don't even know.
This is Kairi from Destiny Islands.
I think I know what Riku looks like.
Pinty girded, your friend is now murdered.
And he kills Kairi. Wait, I think I remember who she is now. No! In a frenzy, Sora defeats the last Norts, allowing Xehanort to summon the Keyblade.
I made this.
Oh yeah, that was the thing I wasn't supposed to do. Whoops,
Yeah.
he says.
Now I'll summon Kingdom Hearts and make it purple and drippy.
Says Xehanort. Duck noises, says Donald.
Yuck.
Says Goofy, or at least he should have. Mickey, realizing he should probably do something of note in this game, stops time and pulls Sora aside. Hey, so
Yeah, doesn't he stop doesn't he like high level time spell this?
turns out that most of the organization members you killed were traveling through time, which is why they were back even though you defeated them before. And Xehanort is the portal that lets them do that. That makes every amount of sense. Thank you, Mickey Senpai. Oh no, is that a wave of Heartless I see? Stop it. So they dive into the portal that is Xehanort and wind up in Scala ad Caelum, the stairway to the sky, and prepare for their final, ultimate, you better believe it's gonna be epic, anime showdown. Sora believes in himself, Xehanort turns into a goat, and the player mashes L2 a lot, trying to select the right... Damn it! Well, at least someone turned into a boat. At last, Xehanort is defeated.
Darn Grummet, my plan was awesome.
I feel like Final Xehanort was a lot of spectacle. I feel like he was a lot of because I actually really liked his design with like the goat horns and stuff. I actually really liked that. But you definitely feel that sense of power because he's warping Scala ad Caelum around him. Like you know, the buildings warp, Sora's thrown underwater. Like you really feel that sense of power. But I wonder if some people look at it much in the same way as like Avatar, like the movies, you know, James Cameron Avatar. And it's like, yeah, there's kind of substance here, but it's a lot of visual spectacle. So I wonder what people really think about it.
Everyone was gonna be all like, oh, Xehanort, you're so cool.
But you're not so cool, old friend.
Everyone gasps with astonishment because it's the ghost of Ericus present.
Right.
Yeah, this is one detail I probably should have mentioned in the last video. When Ericus died in Birth by Sleep, his little soul particles got caught in Terra's hair, and he's been quietly hanging out inside of Terra this whole time. Xehanort goes,
Heck, I guess you're right. I quit. Let's go get some sushi.
Ericus and Xehanort hold hands and fly off into space, and there goes any chance we had a catharsis. Okay, cool, this is super underwhelming.
Interesting. He's gonna explain it in the next scene. Yeah, because the reason why people say that this is Xehanort's Mark of Mastery exam is because he does bequeath the Keyblade to Sora at this point.
Sora picks up the Keyblade and swoorshes everything back to normal, and everyone's like, hooray! Lee is chilling with Roxas and Xion, Aqua's hanging out with Ventus and Terra, none of whom have aged in 10 years, okay? And Sora goes to Riku and is like, well, spit me out like the pit of a palpu fruit. I can't believe we all made it back in one piece. And Riku goes,
You do remember Kairi died, right?
Oh yeah, but if I bring her heart back, I'll be lost forever.
Where does it say that?
It says right here in my dramatic endings for Dingus's book that I ate for lunch.
so Sora brings Kairi
For lunch. I feel that.
back to life and fades away.
Later, nerds.
And just then, Naminé walks over and starts breakdancing. Ow! Meanwhile, Pete and Maleficent actually find the box they've been searching for this whole time, and it turns out to be the Master of Masters box from Union Cross. Remember that one right there? A hooded figure arrives and summons 4 of the 5 foretellers. They're like, sup, Luciu, the other apprentice from Union Cross whose face we've never seen. You were right here in the
I guess foretellers. I thought there were other masters. Yeah.
lineup. Yep, that's you. Why have you portaled us here to the future? Also, we're missing Snake Girl or Rabbit Girl or whatever. And Luciu takes...
Oh yeah, isn't it like hyper relevant too? Like there's a lot of background lore, but like on that. Yeah, making this accessible and not just a mobile game that's now inaccessible. Because I mean, I also dropped like money on it. I got a couple, like I got a really good Kairi medal, but it's like, yeah, then they ended up like, yeah, like it's you can't access it anymore, which is why I won't go to another gacha game. That and Naruto Blazing is the big one. Then I kind of, decided to drop some money on Union Cross, when it's called Union Cross, right? And then like, yeah, now you can't even access it. So you literally can't even get parts of the story. And it makes me so sad because like there's a lot there and clearly relevant details of like why one of the foretellers isn't there.
off their hood and reveals themselves to be Zigbar.
Yeah.
They apparently didn't die earlier.
Okay, in Zigbar's defense, he pulls the Final Fantasy 14 of if you don't see a body, they're not dead, right? So in his final boss fight, he jumps up on top of like the maze, and then he steps backwards off the platform to, fall down, right? To plunge to what we assume is his demise. Like, he really does kind of reinforce if you don't see the body, you don't you don't assume they're actually gone. You know, Luke Skywalker, no one's ever really gone.
And our Lushu. Zigbar, or Lushu, is like, whoops, looks like Xehanort's out of the picture, and I'm the villain now. Horngus hens, the ride never ends, hee hee hee. And then Sora wakes up in Tokyo, and the guy from Verum Rex is there. Yes, the guy from the fictional game Rex was obsessed with. I do not know. Don't look at me. And that's it for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, this is about where my knowledge ends. I know next to nothing about the DLC in Yozora. And I guess we did get the Switch like rhythm game, right? And I think that has some story developments, think is the keyword. Yeah, now we're pretty much caught up. Minus I think like 2.8, but I think that was covered in 0.2 Fragmentary Passage, right? I think we really covered like everything. Sure, I guess maybe we could have covered the mobile games in a little bit better detail, but like that overwhelmingly I've heard like you don't really need to know about the mobile games. They're kind of just extra. Right? Like they kind of just give extra background. You don't really need to engage with them. Clarified 2.8 is just a collection. Okay, thank you. So it would have been the 0.2 point last video.
Or is it? Might be. Most of Kingdom Hearts 3 took place in an alternate timeline dreamscape, and there's actually some semi-decent evidence to back that up. I don't know. There's a link in the description.
Wait, what?
And there's actually with, I do not know if Kingdom Hearts 3 took place in an alternate timeline dreamscape, and there's actually some semi-decent evidence to back that up. I don't.
It's the first I'm hearing of that. That would be a very bold move if they did that.
know. There's a link in the description to the theory, and it makes me mad that it's plausible. You can also click here and watch Gam read the theory to me while I work on this video that you're watching. Good night, everybody. See you in 15 years. Also, look, I got stickers now. Pointsnail.com. Bye. Also, get out of my house.
Oh my god, I actually really love that. That was wild. Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely I don't know if I'd say universally, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely not very well regarded in the community. A lot of people love it. I know there's YouTubers I've seen who love playing it, and they main playing it on the hardest difficulty for streams. I'll go back through it eventually. I will most likely be turning rides off, though, as I feel the rides do trivialize the game. There's an option to just not have them. I think harder difficulties by default don't actually have them. But the game kind of plays itself with carnival rides. Wasn't actually a huge fan of that personally. But, like, yeah, now, I mean, we're aside from the DLC, I mean, that catches effectively everything up to where we're at. And here we go, 2025 going into 2026 with, you know, well, it's going to happen. Finger guns. We going to get something? Maybe. Yes, no. And we'll see what the future of Kingdom Hearts has to offer. As I said, I can't wait to play through these over on the gaming channel at some point. Most of what I'm doing is, you know, I need to make sure I'm backlogging reactions, balancing them along with balancing, you know, gaming channel episodes. It's trying to strike a balance, but also make sure I'm, you know, actually doing active things like sword fighting and stuff. But thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I sure did. And I will see you all in the next one.